With threats to our nation waiting around every corner, adaptability is more important than ever. When conditions change without notice, quick strategic thinking is crucial. And with obstacles consistently impending, determination is essential in overcoming them. It's this willingness, decisiveness, and resilience that sets Marines apart. With our fighting spirit, we don't just fight battles, we win them. Marines are the constant our nation counts on to fight the unknown. And through adaptable problem solving, we do just that. Learn more at marines.com.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Fantastic atmosphere as always. Really well organised.
It's amazing. The scale of it is just unbelievable. All the volunteers and staff make it really easy for people to participate.
Welcome to Leeds for the 5th round of the ITU World Series Triathlon. And the hooter goes, and they are underway. We're at a vantage point overlooking this transition area. Georgia Taylor-Brown with the run of her life.
It just feels really special to hear people screaming your name that I don't even know who they are, and they probably don't even know who I am. And they're just shouting Taylor-Brown because they see it on my tri-suit.
Jonny Brownlee salutes the crowd.
Incredible. It's a World Series. We want to get welcome to places, and I think the athletes can say from the start they've never been so welcome.
It's one of the highlights of the British sporting summer, and the World Triathlon Series is returning to Leeds this June. It's not just an event for the Brownlee brothers, Olympic and Paralympic medalists like Vicky Holland and Lauren Steadman, or world champions like Georgia Taylor-Brown and Dave Ellis. It's an event anyone can take part in, and entries are open now, and you have until Sunday, May 16th, to get involved. Coming up in this special edition of Anything But Footy for British Triathlon, we'll let you know how you can take part, run through the now important COVID-19 safety guidelines, and we'll hear from Britain's best triathletes.
Hi, I'm Jonny Brownlee. I genuinely never thought that there would be a World Series in Leeds. I never thought we'd get to the stage that we are, which is Leeds being a real triathlon city. When I first started in Leeds, I remember doing triathlon for the first time and going to school, and people saying, what does that involve? Does that involve horse riding and shooting? No, that's a different sport. To now, people not knowing what triathlon is, but to have unbelievable triathletes in Leeds, Jess, Georgia, myself, Alistair, all training out of Leeds, the Triathlon Centre, our foundation, the Leeds World Series, and it's absolutely amazing that the city has got behind the triathlon, and hopefully we can continue that because it is a great sport, and I think Leeds is a perfect city for triathlon.
This year, thousands of athletes from amateurs to elites will take to the start line across the weekend. Roundhay Park will be the picturesque setting for the event, which returns after being postponed in 2020. The standard distance race will take place on Sunday, June 6th, with the open race, age group team qualifier, Yorkshire Championships and British Standard Distance Championships. On Saturday, June 5th, there'll be a sprint event and a Go Try event, ideal for first-timers.
Hi, my name's Wayne Coyle. I'm the event director for the AJ Bell 2021 World Triathlon Leeds.
I'm Andy Salmon and I'm the Chief Executive of British Triathlon. It's always an iconic event. It's always an event that has tremendous significance in our calendar. But this year, like no other ever before, I think it's a signal to our sport, to all the people that love our sport, that the sport is opening its doors again. We're going to see, all being well, the world's best triathletes in Leeds. But for the first time, we're also going to see the world's best paratriathletes competing. And of course, there's additional spice because in addition to all of the mass participation races, both the elite races will be part of the Olympic and Paralympic qualification process. So an extra incentive for athletes to travel from around the globe to come and race in Leeds, but of course an extra incentive for our athletes here in GB. They've already secured their spot in the team to fine-tune their preparations for Tokyo, and of course for those who are yet to secure their spot, because we haven't selected all the spots for the team yet, it's one of the last chances they'll have to really put their hand up for selection. So yeah, lots at stake.
So Wayne, as event director, bit of pressure on you for this year, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. It's always an interesting event. Has its logistical challenges, but like everybody, we're just having to get used to the restrictions and requirements of COVID, and we'll make sure that they're all taken on board, and we create a safe and positive environment for everybody to compete in.
Andy, what have the triathlon community been telling you about how much they've missed their sport and their events?
All the indications that we can see are that they've missed it terribly. I think we're very fortunate in that for most of us, getting out for a run, getting out for a bike ride has been something we've been able to do pretty much throughout since March 2020. Swimming hasn't been quite so easy, and for those who don't enjoy open water swimming, it's been nigh on impossible from time to time. So all the indications are that demand is really, really high. People are itching to get back, but of course people are also aware of their own safety in terms of not contracting COVID, but also the safety of everybody and the importance of not putting undue pressure on public services, most notably the NHS. So it's about coming back, very much having a positive mindset, but doing so, as Wayne has said, in a COVID-secure way that doesn't put people at any level of unnecessary risk.
So, Wayne, in a COVID-secure way was the words that Andy used. What will the event look like this year, and how will it differ from how we have seen the Leeds event take place in the past?
As you would expect, there's some very familiar parts of the event that people have enjoyed, and there's some new components to that. One of the early decisions we made was to start and this year finish the event at Roundhay Park. As you probably know, that's different from previous years. We've gone into the city centre, but it was really important that we started and finished in the same environment, and we can create the position there. One thing we've also done is created a venue. So around Roundhay Park, we've put a fence so we can manage people safely onto site. All but our standard event, bike event, all other events will take place within that fenced area. We're obviously taking the advantage of one of the biggest parks in Europe to ensure we've got plenty of space and social distancing. And we're following all the guidelines that are in place through British Triathlon, through World Triathlon, that have been agreed through the various health bodies and implementing them into the event. And I'm sure people still having that great spectacle that World Triathlon Leeds always brings.
The Leeds Triathlon people will know, of course, about the likes of Vicky Holland and Georgia Taylor-Brown and the Brownlee brothers, but there's a wide variety of opportunities for everyone to take part in this event, Wayne.
Yes, there is. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we title it a festival of triathlon. We try hard within the programme that's available to make opportunities of, irrespective of the distance you want to cover or your experience within triathlon. Our aim is for the event in Leeds to offer something there. So, whether it be through the Go Tri event, whether it be the British Championships or the Yorkshire Championships that are taking place. We have our youth events and we also have our TriStar events. So, I would encourage people, if they've been considering and dying to get back to some activity into an event, then, take a look at our website and come along. And as I've said before, the way we'll be running the event will give people the great opportunity to do it in an environment that's safe and comfortable.
And obviously people can now go online and enter. So what detail can you tell us, Wayne, about people taking part and what measures will be in place?
First, about them taking part, yes, they can go on there. We've got 2 full days of fantastic triathlon. As Andy says, we've got the elite events with the Para Series and also with the Championship Series. And then we've got a range of events within the Festival of Triathlon. So whether you're a youth, whether you're a TriStar participant doing triathlon for the first time on Go Tri, or you want to do standard or sprint, then there's a programme of activities and they're all available on the event website. In terms of when people come onto site, as you'd expect, we'll communicate with people beforehand so they know everything they need to know about visiting us in Leeds at Roundhay Park. When they come onto site, we'll do the various temperature checks, and we'll have the mechanisms in place. If we have any concerns over any temperature checks, we can do some lateral flow testing. And when they come onto site then, they will find an environment that is socially distanced, well managed, allow people to rack their bike first, and that's a big difference from previous years. People will actually rack their bikes on the same day that they compete. And when they go down to the start area, it's a time trial start, so we'll not have mass starts. People will literally start one after the other. After the swim, in the transition area, again, we've made a larger transition area to ensure that's fully socially distanced. And as you would expect, there'll all be the appropriate sanitising areas in place and so on. Backed up with all the support staff and over 400 volunteers for us this year, ensuring that will hopefully be a great event for everyone.
And you talk about the way you're running the event, this time trial start, that's going to be pretty unique, new to people.
Yeah, it was used a little bit when we came out of lockdown in some other events, but rather than our pontoon where we've got 50 or 60 people diving off at any one time, people will go in and their timing will set off with their chip timing, so they're obviously individually timed. But right from the start of the event, we will be considering that spatial element, that social distancing, and that will be part of the time trial mechanism that gives people space around the course as well.
And Andy, lots of different titles up for grabs in Leeds this year.
Yorkshire Championship, British Standard Championship, but of course we've got hundreds of age groupers trying to qualify for the Great Britain age group team in 2022 to compete for their country internationally in European and World Championship races. So huge amounts at stake, and we're really excited about it.
And Andy, what does the staging of the Leeds event this year do in terms of your messaging to the wider community and the wider organisation of triathlon events?
Yeah, well, we're running a campaign right now, Mike, called the Big Reboot, which is very much to say that the sport is opening its doors again. It's safe, it's secure, and people should take part. So by signalling that Leeds is open for entries, is going to take place on the 5th and 6th of June, we hope to be able to say to other event organisers, there are over 1,000 events that we permit over the season, to say to those event organisers, we're running this world-class event under these guidelines, under the same guidelines. You can run your event, whether it's a local event, a national event, doesn't matter. Same guidelines, same principles, same principle of taking care of people through really COVID-secure delivery of the event, but also crucially saying to the local authorities, to the landowners, facility owners, and crucially the community who want to take part in these events, that it's safe to do so, that it's compliant with government guidance, it's compliant with national governing body guidance, and so hopefully everybody will have the opportunity now and the confidence to go ahead, enter races, put on races, and as I say, do so really safely.
And Andy, events like this can't just happen with one organisation. This is partnership at work?
Oh, absolutely. It is in a normal year, Michael, and this year very much the case. Whether it's our city partners with Leeds City Council, who've just been phenomenal partners since 2016 when we first came to Leeds. Of course, the support we get from UK Sport, the support that we put in at British Triathlon and Triathlon England, and then all of our partners here in the UK. And of course, the event is part of the World Triathlon Series, and we get fantastic support from our world governing body, World Triathlon, in making sure that we put on a real showcase for hundreds of thousands, hopefully, that watch it, millions perhaps, watch it on television.
And are you confident, Andy, that Roundhay Park will be a great backdrop and give you the spectacle that we are used to?
Absolutely. I think anybody that's been to Roundhay Park knows just what a beautiful location it is, and just the ability of the spectators who are there to move around a relatively concise site and see all parts of the racing, whereas before perhaps you had the swim up at Roundhay Park and the finish in the city centre. You had to make a decision about where you were going to be. So of course we're looking at all the positives there, but I think whether you're there on site in person, whether you're watching on television, it's going to be something to really make sure you never miss.
And Wayne, one of the exciting things and one of the genuinely good things about this event is that your amateur, maybe your first time triathletes can race on the same course as some of our leading British Team GB triathletes, gold medal winners, some of our leading para triathletes as well.
Yeah, it is quite unique, I think, the event in that all of the athletes will start on the same blue carpet. They come off the same pontoon and go into the to swim there. And once they've completed their retrospective event, they'll head down that blue carpet to the finish line. And many parts of the route, even more so this year than perhaps previous years, then they'll be very much treading the same steps as those people, and not only treading the steps, but getting the real opportunity to see those competitors as well. Whether it be our world-class para athletes on the Saturday who are having their first world event in Leeds, or whether it be our Olympic athletes as well. A great opportunity to, like you said, to run that same course, take part on that same course, but then probably within a couple of hours seeing the world's best doing the very same.
And those measures that you described to us earlier, how much work will have to go on between now and when we actually have the event in order to get it on safely?
This time last year was around the time that we postponed the 2020 event, and we started then. We started on 2021. A lot of things, as we know, had to change. So yes, there's plenty of work for us to do. There always is for an event of this scale. As Andy says, we're very fortunate to have some great support from local partners, from the City of Leeds for all our emergency services. Volunteers, we were interested to see how our volunteer programme would work this year, but we've been inundated with that. We've already got over 400 volunteers. So yes, the planning's in there. It will continue all the way through, and it'll be happening during the event as well.
Just an iconic event in an iconic location, and Wayne assures me delivered brilliantly. So no pressure, Wayne. Yeah, just come along and get involved. And if you can't get involved, please come and watch us on TV.
Andy Salmon and Wayne Coyle will give you more details of how to get involved before the end of the podcast. But organisers are keen to stress, as there's been limited access to swimming in recent times, if you're thinking of competing in the sprint and standard distance events, you can reduce or even remove the swim section. One to bear in mind. Leeds has always been a festival of triathlon, and once again it's leading the way with the first ever AJ Bell 2021 World Triathlon Para Series Leeds, presented by Volvo. Rio 2016 gold medalist Claire Cashmore, after switching sports from swimming, is just one paratriathlete who'll be using it to try and qualify for the Tokyo Games this summer.
It's a huge step forward for paratriathlon. We've never had a World Series race on home soil, and I just think that is amazing, and Leeds is probably one of the biggest events in the triathlon calendar. To bring some of the best triathletes, paratriathletes from all over the world into Leeds will just massively boost the profile of paratriathlon, and I'm hoping it will inspire more people with a disability to know what our sport is about and want to get involved, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Ironically, I did my first triathlon at Leeds when I started back in 2016. That was my first one. So and I remember it being pretty hilly. And this year being the Paralympic year and Leeds falling within the Paralympic qualification, it is massive, because it really is going to bring the best triathletes in the world trying to fight desperately for those last minute places to book their tickets to Tokyo. So there's going to be some really fast and exciting races and lots of battles for those qualification places.
We are at the northwest point of Waterloo Lake in Roundhay Park. There will be 2 laps before they enter the transition area before heading out onto the 41.5 kilometre bike course. And the hooter goes, and they are underway.
It's the World Series, isn't it? You couldn't not do it. At my triathlon standards, I'm an amateur anyway.
It's inspirational for me and my kids, really, as just a healthy lifestyle and keeping fit.
Fantastic, absolutely brilliant out there today. Best race I've done.
As hard as it was, I'm delighted to have actually raced it, to have had that support, to have raced on home soil, my hometown, and to come away with a bronze is, about as good as I could have hoped for today.
Leeds love sport. There's not an athlete here that won't admit that that's by far the best World Series there's ever been. Without a doubt, absolutely phenomenal.
Whilst the AJ Bell World Triathlon Championship Series Leeds always provides drama and excitement on the Sunday afternoon, it's the mass participation races which really make the event. The variety across the weekend ensures there's a race for everyone in Leeds this year. Go Try is ideal if you've been thinking about giving swim, bike, run a go for the first time, or making a step up in distance in Britain's flagship triathlon event. John Fielding took part in the event for the first time in 2019, but firstly, let's hear from Hannah Dodwell of the RAF Triathlon Club, another Leeds finisher 2 years ago, who's taken part in 3 British Triathlon permitted events under the new COVID-19 guidelines for staging races during the pandemic.
From the very start of when you get there, there's the 2 metre social distancing as you're walking into the tent to get your registration pack, everything like that. There was all hand gels, hand sanitizer, everything like that to make sure everybody's keeping to the rules, keeping clean. And then as you go through into transition area, I think in all 3 races, there was more space in between each person's transition area, which to be honest, I actually preferred because in most races, it's always really cramped and you've got nowhere to put your stuff. You're always conscious of someone knocking all your kit when you've laid it out ready to go. So that was quite nice that there was much more space. And then for the start of the race and when you're just getting ready to go in the water for triathlon, for example, you were still maintaining that 2 metre social distancing. For the start of the race, so they were, rather than having a mass start, which being a strong swimmer, I prefer and enjoy having that chase, it was more based on one swimmer going and then there'd be 5-second intervals or 10-second intervals between each swimmer. So it was kind of random as to where you were positioned in the water. You might be next to in the mix of loads of weak swimmers, or you didn't really know where you were. So for me, in all the races, I was just kind of chasing down the people ahead of me. And then on the run-in as well, they did say maintain 2 meters when you're running past people. But yeah, in general, I thought they applied COVID rules and I felt safe in every race.
Hi, my name is John Fielding. I'm looking forward to taking part in the triathlon in Leeds this year. This will be my second attempt at it. Really looking forward to it. I'm a bit nervous because I think I'm like everybody else. I haven't done as much training because obviously swimming pools have been shut. There's not been as many training sessions or any training sessions. So, and I haven't ran as much as well. All them with COVID as well. It's been quite a difficult start. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be fine.
Before every race, you've got your information emails or updates and everything like that consistently going, right, this is the new COVID rules and implications and how they were dealing with it with every race. So you were constantly feeling updated and informed of everything going on. I think it was important for myself and probably for most people just to put our minds at ease, because as much as everybody wanted to get back to the racing scene, we also wanted to make sure that ourselves are safe, because it's not just the race that would have implications on, it's just implications after the day of the race, when you go back to work the next day or when you go back to your family. And obviously you're taking yourself out of your normal environment into a different environment where there's lots of people.
Because I enjoyed it personally so much and the sense of achievement you got from it, I always wanted to start off my own British Triathlon club back in November, because we've got a running club, and I thought I'd spoke to my members and quite a few of them want to progress. Because I think some runners see this as a natural progression to the next step, so that they've done the running and they wanted something else to challenge them. Because of obviously COVID's been quite difficult, the lockdowns. We've not really ran any sessions yet, but we're getting there now. Really looking forward to this spring and summer. I think it'll be really good. We met some at British team, some at triathletes, and they passed on their tips, for transition and cycling, and it was amazing. It was shoelaces. That's what it was. Having elasticated shoelaces.
I really enjoyed Leeds when I did it. I think it was 2019. It was just the atmosphere, because you knew you were racing on pretty much the same course as the elites. And for those that tune into the World Triathlon Series constantly, to be able to then go race in that place and be so close to those elite athletes, it's that sense of achievement, really.
Oh, it's a fantastic setting. It's ideally set up for this kind of event. Obviously, I've experienced it. I wasn't sure how it would work, but when I took part in 2019, it was just perfect. It's a perfect setup. It's a lovely setting. Yes, yeah, it is. It's perfect, ideal.
I'd say that just read through all the information before you do go to the race. If you are worried at all, just go ask questions and get the feedback you need to reassure yourself. I personally feel happy to go do a race.
I would just say give it a go, because if you don't, you're going to regret it. I was really nervous when I took part. My main worry was open water swimming, like probably a lot of people. But I have to be, I'm completely honest, it was my favourite discipline. Honestly, I enjoyed it. I wish I'd have gone further. I really did enjoy it. It was fantastic. So just give it a go. You won't regret it. And crossing that finish line after taking part in an event like this it's an amazing feeling that you'll never experience again.
Anyone finishing the AJ Bell 2021 World Triathlon Leeds will do so on the blue carpet, but there's a particular green theme this year too, with that achievement being recognised with a finisher's medal made from sustainably sourced British wood.
Hi, I'm Georgia Taylor-Brown. I'm a British triathlete. I'm the current world champion. The very first year that it was in Leeds, I missed it just because I was coming back from injury, so I wasn't ready to race. And then I was praying that there was going to be another one because I thought, I've missed out on this one. I don't want this to be the only opportunity I get to race in Leeds. The year after, I came back and I got a start for it and I was ready to race. And then I rolled my ankle the day before the race, so I had to pull out on like race morning, which was just devastating. It was awful to just sit there and watch. So then the year after, in 2018, I finally made it to the start line. And I put my trainers in transition and I sort of said to the girls, this is further than I've got last year, so this is a win for me. I'm happy with this. And I actually ended up coming third in that race. And I think that was sort of the start of my World Series medals. So yeah, all started in Leeds for me. And that was quite special. And then in 2019, I managed to win there. And I don't know, it just all came together that day, to be honest. I just had a good swim. I was in a good position. We had a good bike group that we could work with. And I just felt really strong on the run. And I just think there's so much noise coming from everywhere. And for me, it just feels really special to hear people screaming your name that I don't even know who they are. And they probably don't even know who I am. And they're just shouting Taylor-Brown because they see it on my tri-suit. And that's quite special because they're probably just out doing their shopping or something. So yeah, it's cool that people can kind of watch and get involved, even though they probably don't even know what triathlon is.
It was Leeds' Jess Learmonth who led through transition into the cycle. But Leeds-based Georgia Taylor-Brown, with the run of her life, took the victory.
I'm Jess Learmonth, a GB triathlete. I can't wait. I mean, I've done it ever since it started. And like I say, it'd be a bit different being out in Roundhay, but I think it'll still be a brilliant race. And they make sure it's hard, so it's always a hard race. But also, it's pretty impressive that we do World Series all around the world. Obviously, we go all sorts of different places, and one of the series is in your hometown in Leeds. I mean, it seems strange saying it, but it's actually one of the best in terms of support as well. Like, obviously, we go all around the world, and Leeds is by far the best for crowds and stuff. And obviously, we probably won't have that this year, but it's not just that. It's just getting kind of back to normal and, bringing something, I don't know, interesting and getting people involved. Because it's not just the elite sport that's going to be on it. Obviously, there's other people, age groupers, and their races will be hopefully on as well. So I think we just need that to kind of lift us up and get us back motivated. And it'll be boiling up then. And do you know what I mean? The sun's going to be out. It's going to be a great day.
Leeds has always been about the spectacular, but now COVID safety is paramount too. So if you're thinking of getting involved, here's Michael with a reminder of what they're doing differently.
It's going to be another great day in Leeds. The start and finish will be in Roundhay Park, making a COVID-secure event arena. Participants will need to complete a health declaration, sign the code of conduct before your entry. QR code will be activated to allow you into the park. Temperatures will be taken, everyone should social distance, and face coverings are strongly recommended before and after races. A time trial start, 1 by 1, should allow a little extra room on the course, and most of all, still have fun.
Entries are open now. Just go to festivaloftriathlon.co.uk and you have till Sunday, May 16th.
The doors are open. We're open for business. The event's going ahead. As long as nothing untoward happens with that roadmap, then it's full steam ahead. Not only, though, this year are we going to have the world's best triathletes in Leeds, we're also going to have the world's best paratriathletes. Hundreds of age groupers trying to qualify for the Great Britain age group team in 2022. We're going to have competing for the Yorkshire Championship, the British Standard Race Championship. So, yeah, just an iconic event in an iconic location. Just come along and get involved. And if you can't get involved, please come and watch us on TV.
Sports Social Podcast Network.